Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am your host Pratik Anjay, and today we are going to discuss on natural language processing. Basically, I am going to show you some of the functionality of a natural language processing library called TextBlob. So let me give you some brief on natural language processing. So like what is natural language processing? So it we can say that it is a subfield of AI which is focused on enabling computers to understand and process human language. So this is the medium we can say through which computers can understand and process human language. Nowadays, if you see, there are a lot of new things are coming into this NLP and NLU space, where computers by their own with the help of AI are generating new text. You will give a 2 or 3 line of text and it will give you the whole story after that. So like that this NLP space is progressing. So let's just start. There is a library called TextBlob. Even there are others library also available in the NLP. For example, NLTK, SPACY, GenSim, and there is one more called TextBlob. So we are going to see TextBlob today, and also I will be giving you some career related tips like how you can make a transition into this data science field, or how you have to prepare for an interview, how you have to prepare your resume, and that I'm going to give you at the end of this video. So keep watching this video till end so that you will understand everything, plus you will get a career guidance as well. So let's begin. So what is TextBlob? So TextBlob is a NLP library. So if you see, I have given the definition also. So TextBlob is a Python library and offers a simple API to access its methods and perform basic NLP tasks. So basically this library help us to perform basic NLP tasks such as tokenization, noun phrase extraction, POS tagging. POS stand for part of speech tagging, n-grams, sentiment analysis. Even it will perform the spelling correction as well. So what will be your first thing to do? You have to install this library into your system. So the command for that is pip install TextBlob. So once you are I have already installed it, so but let me run this library. So it will take some time, and maybe if it is installed in my system it will say already installed or requirement already satisfied. Yeah, it is showing requirement already satisfied. Then we have to import NLTK also, because that is the main library through which all the NLP things process. So then there is the import NLTK, and then there is from TextBlob import TextBlob. I am importing TextBlob. In the blob is a variable out, and I am putting a paragraph over there. I have given a paragraph like I love data science and machine learning. This is one line. AI is the new feature. This is another line. I want to be a data scientist. This is a third line. So I am printing this text. Then there is a command called dot sentence, and there is a function called dot words. So dot sentences, what will it do? It will break this paragraph into one sentences. For example, I love data science and machine learning is a one sentence. AI is the new feature is a one sentence. I want to be a data scientist is another one sentence. So it will break down where there is a full stop. If I am giving it a comma over there, it will not do that. It will consider comma into a sentence only. So it will always treat where is the full stop till that point a one sentence. Another function is dot words. What it will be doing? It will be making each words it will give you a list of words. If I say, it will convert all the paragraph into a list of words. So let me run the codes for you guys. See, the first line is it is giving the text that I have given. The second line is converting into the sentences. There are three sentences, 1, 2, and this 3. So there are three sentences coming over there, and again it is converting each word as a list of words. If you see, all words from the paragraph are coming into a list, and each words are tokenized. So now, for example, now I want to use each word and I want to pass these words in a for loop. If I'm writing a bigger program somewhere, I can simply use these words from this list and can pass it through. So now it's become very easy, because when we are using at a string, it is very difficult to get each word from a sentence or from a string, if I say. So tokenization is very important. Next is data is equal to data dot words. Again, it will give you the whole words, the same thing the above I have shown you. And if I run data, it will give you the word list. If I want to pass it through the for loop, this is a command for that. It will give you nicely words over there. I love data science and machine learning. AI is a new feature and I want to be a data scientist. Our second function is dot noun phrases. So what it will do, it will extract all the nouns from the whole paragraph. So let me run this command for you. So it is running and it will give you all the nouns. For example, you are working on a problem statement uh, where you want to extract all the nouns available in a big paragraph. So this command you can use and you can get all the nouns at one shot. So this is data science, machine learning, AI, new future, data scientist, all are nouns that is available into the data set, into the paragraph. If I say, if I give, it is not a space, that's why it is coming like this. Yeah, so now I is not there because that was connected with dot, so that way it was coming over there. So again, if I want to store this thing, I have to just click on blob dot noun phrases, and I have stored all those 9 noun into a np variable. If I just run this command, it will give you all the nouns available, and all the words are coming into a list. For example, I want to use the words from the list. What I will do, for I in np print I can iterate each words from that list using this for loop. So another command is for part of speech tagging. So let me explain you what is part of speech tagging. So part of speech tagging, I have given the definition over here. You guys can also read it. Part of speech tagging or grammatical tagging is a method to mark words present in a text on the basis of its definition and the context. In simple words, it tells whether a word is a noun or adjective or a verb or etc. So there are a lot of words available into a paragraph. So what part of speech will tagging will do, it will tag each word where it belongs to, whether it is a noun, whether it is adjective, whether it is a verb, and then you can use it. You can extract what sort of your requirement is. For example, you want to extract only nouns, you can do that. If you want to extract only pronouns, you can do that. If you want to extract only adjectives, you can do that. This is just a complete vision of noun phrase extraction, where we want to find all the part of a speech in a sentence. So for that, there is a very simple command, dot tags. It will directly tag all the part of a speech into a given paragraph. So let me run this for you guys. See, I is pronoun, love is verb, science is noun, and is adjective, machine is noun, learning is noun, AI is proper noun. So now all the tagging has been done against each of the words. Now you can extract each of the nouns, pronouns, adjective as per your problem statement requirement. Again, you can use this for loop for extracting the same thing. This is different way, more cleaner way if you want to present. See, it is coming all into the uh, list and tuples, and if you see, it is very clean over here. So you can use this command as well. So our next command is from ngrams. So what is ngrams? Ngrams will give you like consecutive words, whatever the words are coming together into a whole paragraph, it will give you the list of those words. So for example, if I will give here two, it will give me a pair of words, and that will come into a list which of the words are coming together. So let me run this command for you guys. So for example, I love came together, love data came together, data science came together. So it is giving me a list of two words which are together into the paragraph. If I will mark it as a 3, it will give me 3. If I will mark it as a 4, it will give me 4. So if I want to see, okay, which are the words are coming into the paragraph together, I'm working in a problem statement and I have to figure it out, then we can use this ngrams things to extract the words which are being used together in whole of the paragraph. So this is very much in use in any of the NLP problems. If you are performing a word clouds, or if you are performing a group thing like grouping of different words that can give me a topic, this is very important function to use it. Next is a sentiment analysis, how we can find the sentiment of a given sentence. So there is a two parameter for that. One is polarity and another is subjectivity. So what polarity is talking about? It is talking about polarity is a float value within the range -1 to 1, where 0 indicates neutral, plus 1 indicates a very positive sentiment, and -1 represents a very negative sentiment. So if my polarity is in the minus, it means that is giving me a negative sentiment. If my polarity is giving plus, it means it is a positive sentiment. And if it is 1, then it is 100% positive. Another one is subjectivity. So what is subjectivity? Subjectivity is a float value within the range 0 to 1, where 0 is very objective, 1 is very subjective. Then what is subjective then? Subjective sentence express some personal feelings, view, beliefs, opinion, allegation, desire, disbelief, suspicious and speculation, whereas objective sentences are factual. For example, if I am, it can be a very personal thing that will come under subjective. For example, I like ice cream. May I like, but maybe other people can't like. So like that, it pass on the subjectivity to each of the words assigned over there. So, or words, sorry, sentence over there. So let me run this. For example, I have given I love Sunday. Let me see the sentiment for this sentence. It is giving me a polarity of 0.5 and subjectivity of 0.6. Polarity 0.5, it is in positive, so it is a positive sentiment, and its range is 0.5. Subjectivity is 0.6. It is a subjective because I love Sundays. Maybe some people may not like Sundays. So that's why, again, if I giving I hate Mondays, because everybody hate Mondays because we have to go to offices and all. So let me run this. See, the polarity is minus 0.8. So this is giving me a very hard negativity on this sentence. We can say that this is very much negative sentiment. And subjectivity is 0.9 because majority of the people hate Mondays. So that's why this is 0.9 subjectivity. Again, the text blob offers a very powerful function that is used for correcting a sentence. For example, if we have sometimes what happens, we write some paragraphs where we miss certain words, or we use short forms of certain words, and if you want to send those paragraph to someone, it is very important to check whether everything is proper in those paragraph or not. We can use this correct function to check whether everything is correct or not. For example, if you see in the text, YouTube is a great is not correct, platform is not correct, so science is not correct. So let me see how what text blob will do on this. Let me run this, and once I will run this function dot correct, it will correct the sentence. See, why this is giving me this. So there was some space issue, that's why that YouTube thing was not coming. But now if you see, it has corrected the word great, it has corrected the word platform, it has corrected the word science as well. So this is a very useful function that you can use to correct all your words into a paragraph. If I'll give any sort of wrong words available, it will try to correct whatever the possible it can. We can't say, we cannot say it will be 100% correct, but maybe 70, 75% or 80% it will find the correct words. So again, what happens if I want to compare two words and check how similar they are? So we can use a library called Fuzzy Wuzzy that we can use to compare how similar two strings or words are. For example, I am working on a project where we need to compare the emails available, and we can check, okay, if those emails are available or not, or if they are, how much similar both are if they are not. So this Fuzzy Wuzzy will do, it will give you a similarity score over there. So the first command will be, you have to install this Fuzzy Wuzzy, and this is not part of the text block. This is kind of an additional thing that I am showing you. Fuzzy Wuzzy, this is a very powerful tool as well to compare two of the strings. And from Fuzzy Wuzzy, I'm importing fuzz. So let's see here. If I have a email abc@gmail.com, I am comparing with the abcd@gmail.com. So let me see what the similarity score this fudge dot ratio is giving me. It is giving me 96% similar. If I remove the d from here, 100% similar. If I am giving this xyz, 77% similar. Why it is again giving me similar? Because there is similar @gmail.com. If I remove this, then it is giving me 0% similar, because both the words are not similar at all. So this was the whole agenda for the today, where I have showcased important features of the library text blob, which is nowadays very much in demand into the market. Many of the people using this library for their NLP processes. So hope you guys have understand it, and please try to use it. I will upload this Python notebook also in my GitHub thing, and you can directly download it and can use it for your purpose. And please check the GitHub link for that. I will give that in the video descriptions. Now come to the career transition thing, how you can make a transition into data science field. The thing is, like always, knowledge is very important. If you are a fresher or if you are a experienced person, first you have to understand what is data science, how it works, what are the different algorithms. And only theoretical knowledge is not important. You have to do lots of projects on data science. Now the question is, from where you will get the projects. So go to Kaggle, go to Analytics Vidya. There are a lot of projects available online. Hackathons are going on. Try to enroll on those. Try to solve problems over there. Try to submit your answers over there, so that you can see, okay, where you are lying, how much understanding you have, what is the rank you are getting. And there are lots of useful videos available. You can check my YouTube videos, you can go to Udemy, you can go to Coursera. So the main thing is, knowledge is important. It's not like I learned just one and two things and I'm start trying into this field and I will crack the job very easily. Because there is a huge crowd nowadays into this data science field, and companies are now become very clever to pick the right candidates. They are doing lot different sort of interview processing, for example, maybe online, or they will give you a case study. Sometimes there will be 2 3 rounds of the technical discussions with managerial discussions. So the main thing is, you have to be prepared well. Knowledge is main important. Don't directly jump into this field and start giving the interviews. First prepare yourself for the interview, and on your knowledge thing. So yeah, so I believe you have liked today's video. If you have liked today's video, please like and subscribe my channel. Also share this channel with your friends, and put your comments also if you are liking, if you are not liking, where I am lagging, where I have to improve, because this is also my new channel and I am also learning. So until unless you guys are not telling me, I will not be aware of where I have to improve. And whatever the videos I bring or I make, the things that is my from my own personal experience, the libraries, the functions, the technology that I use in my day-to-day uh, data science thing, because I work as a data scientist and we work on different sort of exciting and challenging problem statement in our day-to-day life. So yeah, that's for the today. Thanks all.